guys, thanks for stopping by. I feel like a hot mess today. Texas summers have begun. I don't know where spring went, but it is 95 degrees outside, so I feel like a hot mess just getting home from work. I feel like this is going to be the new me filming schedule. When I film after work, I just feel like you're gonna be getting a whole lot of like sweaty, day-old makeup from being at work all day and riding my bike home from work, and I'm a sweaty mess, but I'm too lazy to put makeup on to film a video, and I'm just gonna be real, like, I'm gonna come home from work and film a video and not like pretty myself up like, this is my day-to-day, this is what I look like. So be prepared for some summer looking videos coming up, because it's gonna be me just sweating profusely on the camera because it's so hot outside. I don't know, like, God forbid we have like, you know, a month or so of nice weather before it just gets unbearably hot outside. But anyway, that's not what this video is about. That's just about what you're gonna be seeing on my face for the next like couple months while it's scorching hot outside. But anyway, today's video is going to be a long requested video about my nail care. Spoiler alert, I don't really do a whole lot when it comes to nail care. I'm not one of those who has like this regimented schedule of like, I do this on this day, and I do this, and I soak, and I lotion, and I do this, and I do that. I try not to do a whole lot when it comes to nail care. I have like one or two things in my routine that are kind of staples, but for the most part, I kind of like, if I think about it, I'll do it, but I mean, it's not really at the forefront of my mind, to be quite honest. I feel like for the most part, my nails are pretty good with this type of routine, so it's just what I've been kind of going with. I haven't had to really focus on anything, you know. I feel like I'm due for a break sometime soon because I haven't broken a nail in a long time, knock on wood for me. But yeah, I try not to do too much on the day-to-day. If my nails are acting and behaving well, I really don't have a crazy regimented schedule. There was at a point in time where I was having to do something a little bit more regimented just because my nails were a little bit crazy, but we'll kind of talk about that as we go. But yeah, just a little bit of some of the things that I use on the day-to-day. We'll start off with kind of what I do to kind of, first off, let's talk about like what are my major nail issues. So for the most part with my nails, the only things that I really have to deal with are peeling, brittle nails, and short nail beds. So for, I'd say maybe like a year and a half ago, I was dealing with a lot of issues with peeling nails. My nails would grow to, you know, a point. So since I have short nail beds, I usually have to have a decent amount of visible nail line for me to have any type of length on my nails. I see some ladies who can have who have such long nail beds and their nails look crazy long, and they're not necessarily long over their fingernails just because they have such long nail beds. I don't have that luxury, so in order for my nails to be, you know, long, I do have to grow them out quite a bit. And so the issue I was dealing with about a year and a half ago was my nails would grow maybe about a ½ inch out past my finger, and then they would just start to peel. Like, no matter what I did, it just felt like it was some type of, you know, maybe deficiency of some kind. They would reach a certain length and they would just start peeling. And no matter what I did to them, I could not seem to get them to work, you know, to get them under control. Trying to paint nail polish over them just did not look good. You could just see all the ridges in my nails. It would cause the nail polish to peel off quite easily just because they were so rigid on the ends with all of the peel, you know, places, you know what I'm talking about. So I tried a lot of things to try and get the peeling under control, and the only thing that I found that I could get to work was the Nailtiques. I really wish I didn't have to use Nailtiques because it does have formaldehyde in it. I tried so many other things before I got to this point because I knew this had a little bit more chemicals in it than I wanted to use, but I could not find anything else that worked. I did try the Nailtech. I think I did try, you know, I used Zoya's kind of base stuff for a little while. Nothing seemed to help kind of curb that. And so I did notice quite a few people said that the Nailtiques worked for them. And this has really been the only thing that I've found that works for me. Now, when my nails were at their worst, I did start with the Formula 2 Plus, and I used that for, I'd say maybe like a month, couple months, in order to kind of get them back the way that I wanted them. Now that they're under control, I do use the Formula 2 as more of a maintenance base coat, but I probably, and so when I was using the 2 Plus, I was using that probably every manicure. I didn't change it out. I always used to use the 2 Plus until my nails got back to where they needed to be. And with this particular base coat, I find that it strengthens my nails, it stops the peeling. I haven't had any issues at all. I do use this, I try to use this knowing I paint my nails every day. I probably use this, I try at least twice a week. It depends on the type of nail polish I'm wearing. If I'm wearing something with glitter, I'm obviously, it just depends on the polish. But I definitely have to try and use this at least twice a week in my manicures, because if I don't, I do notice there have been a couple instances, it hasn't happened recently, but there have been instances since I've started using this where my nails will start to peel, and then I realize it's probably because I haven't been using this as diligently as I should. So I do notice, so that makes me think that this is what keeps my nails looking healthy and, you know, not peeling and all that crazy stuff. So Formula 2 is what works for me. I highly recommend it for people that are dealing with peeling nails. I do suggest the 2 Plus first to get them under control, and then once you've gotten them, I think they even recommend on the instructions to not use the 2 Plus for a really long, you're not supposed to use this for every manicure once your nails are too, you know, once your nails are in a better state, you're not supposed to use either of these every single manicure. So yeah, I would definitely use the 2 Plus, get them under control, and then go to the 2, and then, like I said, once or twice a week for manicures for me. This is definitely a staple in my nail care. I have to have this in order for my nails to be looking good. So that's the Nailtiques. 2 other base coats that I will mention that I do use interchangeably, or 3 I should say. This one, peel off base coat, definitely has to be the Picture Polish peel off glitter base. I really don't want to like this as much as I do, because it's basically glue. It's like Elmer's glue, but it's like $13. So this is my second bottle. I just recently purchased a new bottle within the last month or two. When I ran out of my initial bottle, I really, for the life of me, wanted to find something else that wasn't as expensive. And I tried something else and I didn't like it, so I ended up going back to this. Yes, it's $13, but I just find that it is it's the most, like, I think with this other peel off, first of all, it dries pretty quickly. The one peel off base coat that I did try doesn't dry very quickly, so I have to sit there for like, you know, 5 minutes sometimes to wait for it to dry. And I don't always have that time, especially for me when I paint my nails in the evening. I want to be like quick. So a lot of the stuff in my nail care routine is like stuff that will get the job done quickly. So I find this dries pretty quickly. I can also use this as a kind of liquid latex type thing. When I'm doing nail art, I can put this around the cuticles and pull it off when it's done. I find that the other thing too with peel off base coats is you want it to be a peel off base coat, but you also don't want it to pop off your nails really quickly. And so I find this is a good, you can pry it off of your nail and peel it off, but it doesn't necessarily like pop off really fast, if that makes sense. It's just peel off enough to where you can get it off your nails without having to struggle, but your manicure's not gonna pop off, you know, hopefully as long as you're using a decent enough top coat, I should say. I don't have too many issues. So this is definitely my go-to as far as peel off base coats. And then the 2 other ones I will mention, this is the Glistening Glow base coat that I just got recently. I haven't used this too many times, but I have liked it so far. It does mention that it's sticky, long-lasting, and stain preventing. When I do have a polish, lately I've been using this when I have a manicure that I don't want to pop off my nail, because usually, like I've mentioned in other videos, I like my nail polish to kind of peel off relatively easily just because I change my nail polish every day. But if I do know that I'm going to be, you know, using my hands a lot, or if I do know I need to wear a polish for longer than a day, if that seems to happen, I will use the Glistening Glow, just because so far this has stayed on my nail pretty well, unlike this one that we'll mention. So yeah, that is the Glistening Glow. base coat like that. This is the one I've kind of been on the fence about. This is from Pacifica. This is the Gloss 7 Free Top and Base Coat. So this is the one I've been testing for the last couple months, and I don't know how I feel about it. I use it for swatches, so I'll definitely keep buying it to use for swatches just so I don't waste my other base coats. But as far as like using it in manicures, it kind of works as like a peel-off base coat in a way. So because it's labeled as a top coat and a base coat, I feel like it's very, it's not as sticky of a base coat, and so I find whenever I do use this, my nail polish does pop off pretty quickly, as opposed to something like the picture polish where I feel like this stays on a little bit better for a peel off. This, I feel like, at first I definitely didn't like it. I thought it caused my nail polish to peel off really fast. And then for a while there, I kind of liked it because it made my nail polish peel off kind of fast. And as I've mentioned, I usually like that when it comes to nail polish removing. I like to have it come off fast. But lately, in my last couple manicures, I feel like this has been causing my nail polish to pop off a little bit more quickly than I would like. So for instance, today I wore this as a base coat last night, and before I even got to work this morning, I noticed I got to work and one of my fingers had nail polish, like the nail polish had just peeled off, and I don't even know where I had lost it along the way. It just was gone. So while I like that it peels off my nail, while I like peeling off my nail polish, I also like the nail polish to at least stay on for the day. So I don't really love this, but I do love it for swatches, and I think it would be appropriate in some situations when it comes to peel off base coats. So I don't think I would recommend this unless you are looking for something like that, but I will use it for swatches. I did just buy another bottle of this, so I will keep using it for swatches, but I don't think I love it as far as like everyday manicure type stuff. So those are my base coats. When it comes to top coats, there's no comparison to any other. This is my favorite top coat by far. It's the Glisten and Glow top coat. I love it so much. I've been using it for probably about 1.5 years, and I can't seem to go back. I was using the Zoya top coat prior to this. I did in the last, I want to say, Earth Day sale, they sent me a little small kind of like travel size of the Zoya top coat. There's no way I can go back. This is by far my favorite top coat. It's super thick. It's shiny. It dries really fast. Compared to the Zoya top coat, it just is super thin. It chips really easily. I don't have any issue with chipping. It doesn't smear my nail art when I do nail art. It's just my favorite. It's my favorite by far. The one thing the one gripe I have about it is I usually I can't get more. I probably can get about 1/3 of the way down before it starts getting a little bit thick and goopy. So that's my only downside to this, but this is by far my favorite. Love this so much. I did get this one recently that I've been giving a try. I got this in my when I purchased the Cirque Desert Blooms collection. I did pick, they did send this to me as a sample. This is the liquid laminate top coat. I actually do like this. This is pretty nice so far. Dries really fast. Definitely not as thick as the Glisten and Glow, but so far I do like this. Although I did wear this yesterday, or no, I'm sorry, I did wear this today, or I painted my nails last night, wore it today. And I did do some stamping, or attempted to do some stamping with my manicure, and this did cause my nail polish, the stamping polish, to smear. So not the best for nail art, but so far it's been pretty good. I like it. Probably not for nail art, but it's a decent top coat. I don't think it's gonna replace my Glisten and Glow though, so those are those two. I do have a matte top coat in there, but I haven't used it yet, so I don't want to recommend it, and I also don't really use matte top coats very often, so I was using the, man, I had a really old bottle of the Butter London matte top coat that I finally had to throw away, so I just have a random one in there. If I end up liking it, I'll let you know, but for now I haven't used it yet. So I will mention this also. I got this one recently. I did notice the last few glitter type polishes that I've had, especially Crelly's, I've had some issues with the glitter sinking into the polish and not really suspending and being like, it causes the glitter to be a little textured on the nail, and I've just been having some issues with that. Even if I use 2 coats of top coat, I've been having issues with just not getting the glitter to kind of stand out with the base, if that makes sense. And so I bought this hoping that this would help maybe some of the polishes that I have in my collection that I've been having issues with. This is the Nail Pattern Boldness Glitter Food Top Coat. I'm still on the fence as to whether I like this or not. I've used this in probably like 2 or 3 manicures, and how this works is you basically, if you haven't heard of glitter food top coats before, you basically paint your nails with however many coats of the polish that you want, and then you will put this on top of it, and this just basically works as some extra base to kind of get the glitter to kind of, you know, rise up a little bit and not sink into the base, and then kind of help smooth out the polish and help it look a little bit more like dimensional, I guess, if that kind of makes sense. This does dry matte, so I always, unless you prefer the manicure to be matte, you will need to put another top coat on top of this. So like I said, I've used this for probably 2 or 3 manicures. I don't know if I really noticed enough of a difference, because I feel like with the manicures I did it with, I still had to do 2 coats of top coat. So I don't know if I love this yet. I'm still gonna keep trying it out and see if I like it, but I have it just for those instances if I do need them, to kind of help with the glitter, you know. So that is the Nail Pattern Boldness Glitter Food Top Coat. And so that's all that I've got as far as, you know, kind of like undies and stuff and base coats and whatnot. So now we're gonna kind of talk about some of the stuff that I do to kind of maintain my nails. And so like I said, I don't have anything super regimented. I don't, I feel like the only thing that like I've said, I paint my nails every day during the week for the most part. Saturdays and Sundays I do usually have bare nails. I don't know if that helps. I don't know. I don't really know. I've heard, you know, conflicting arguments about the letting your nails breathe type thing. So I don't know if it really helps, but I don't wear nail polish on Saturdays and Sundays for the most part. And so if I'm thinking about it, I will try and do some type of, you know, moisturizing on the cuticles, that kind of thing, to kind of just keep them looking good. And so that's if I remember. If I'm having a busy week and I forget about it, you know, sometimes I don't do it that week. Sometimes I go a while. If I notice they're looking kind of dry, I'll put lotion on them. I'm not super strict about it, but here's what I use. So, oh, I will also mention before we move on to that, Zoya Remove Plus is my nail polish remover of choice. I do not use acetone, so I think that definitely helps with the drying. Like I said, since I prefer to peel off my nail polish, I don't have to like use acetone for like glitter, and I have the peel off base coat, so I don't have to, you know, soak my nails in acetone to get glitter polish off. So this is the only polish remover that I use, and I love it. It works well for me. Okay, moving on to the kind of moisturizing stuff. So I pretty much, when I'm at work all day, I'm very diligent about moisturizing my hands all day. I'm at the office, I'm washing my hands constantly, and every time I wash my hands, I try and put lotion on. This is the lotion that I keep at work. It's the lotion I have here at the house. I find that it's the best lotion as far as moisturizing, but it's not too thick and greasy to where you can't like use your hands for 20 minutes because they're all like oily and gross. So I find this to be a good like in the middle lotion, and I've been using this for a really long time. This is from, I have to buy this on Amazon. So this is from Pure and Basics. It's the natural hand and body lotion. It comes in several different scents. I used to be able to get this at my health food store when I lived back at home in Florida, but unfortunately I have not been able to find anyone here in Texas that carries this. So I do pick this up on Amazon. I'm sure it's available on, other like healthcare type websites like I thought I knew one off the top of my head, but I guess I don't. I don't know. You can look for it. I'll put a link down for the one I get from Amazon, but I'm sure you might be able to get this elsewhere. But yeah, I love this. I use this every time I moisturize my hands here at home, and I do have some like thicker stuff that I may use every once in a while if my hands are feeling super dry, but on the day-to-day, I almost always use this every time I wash my hands, or if my hands are feeling dry, I almost always pull this out. Like I said, it's light enough to where it's not, you know, it's light enough, but it's still moisturizing at the same time, so this is my favorite. I use this constantly. And then when it comes to like Cuticle Care, I was using these for a really long time, because like I said, I wasn't super strict about it, so I didn't really have any like nail type like cuticle balms and all that jazz. So I had picked these up from the health food store and I was using them for a little while. I'm still using them, but I'm getting close to being out of them. This is the Purifying Tea Tree Nail Saver. It says tea tree nail saver rehydrates and revitalizes dry cuticles and brittle nails, helps to keep nails strong and reduce breakage. I did like this. It's a little bit of a lighter oil, so it's not super, you know, sticky and gross on your fingers. When I wanted something a little bit thicker, I did have this natural vitamin E. It's just, it's from some random brand. I'm sure you can get vitamin E pretty much anywhere, so it doesn't have to be this particular brand. But it does mention that vitamin E is readily absorbed through the skin and regular use leaves skin looking and feeling softer. The natural vitamin E is especially good for those seeking a soothing emollient for dry skin. So yeah, I was using these as a little while, using these for a little while as my cuticle moisturizers. I still use them from time to time, but recently I thought I would be a grown-up and get some like actual nail care, you know, like moisturizer type things. So I noticed last probably 2 months, 3 months ago on the Polish Pickup, they had some like cuticle and moisturizer type stuff, so I thought I would try a couple of them out, and I've been liking them so far. I did, so this one is from, I believe this is from February's Polish Pickup when it was dessert themed, so I think that also helped because I wanted, they sounded like they smelled good. And somebody also I think recommended the, this is from Ever After. Somebody recommended, I think, on Instagram to me their Cuticle Crelly, so I thought I would go ahead and try it. This is it's just a really thick kind of hand lotion, and you can use this, it says you can use it for hand or body, so it's just a thicker hand cream. It's really, really nice. I mostly got it just for the scent. I don't really know what exactly it smells like, but the scent on it is Candy Crush, so that was mostly the reason I got it. I also picked up another container of this in the last month's, which was 90s, and I think it's something, it was called As If, so it's some kind of like 90s smelling thing, so I got sucked into that a little bit. But this is a really nice moisturizing hand lotion if you want something a little bit thicker, that sort of thing. And then it also came with a small little thing of cuticle oil in the same scent, and I believe the one I picked up last month in the Polish Pickup also has this little duo set. So this is a really nice cuticle oil. It's not too thick, it's not too light, so it's kind of a good in the middle, so I like that. And then I don't know what's in this oil, but the Cuticle Crelly's got a bunch of different oils. It's got coconut, olive, shea butter, cocoa butter, aloe vera, sunflower seeds. It's got a whole bunch of good stuff. I've been liking this so far. And then the other one that I also picked up is a little Cuticle Balm, and this is from Heather's Hues, and this is in the Sour Patch Kids smell. I also got this during the Polish Pickup. Sour Patch Kids. I don't know if it necessarily smells like Sour Patch Kids, but it smells good nonetheless. And this is just a thicker kind of like cuticle balm. It's probably reminiscent of like the Burt's Bees, the Burt's Bees one that I can't think of the name, like the lemony one. So this one's like a good kind of travel one. It's, you know, another good kind of like oily goodness. So we use those for kind of moisturizing just whenever I'm thinking about it. I try to do it on the weekends when I don't have any nail polish on. And like I said, since I have short nail beds, I try to remind myself to do it once a week and just push my push my cuticles back, because they do have a tendency to want to ride up and not give me much nail to work with. And I do find also that wearing nail polish all the time helps to keep my cuticles, you know, back as much as possible. But I do try to remember once a week to use some of that to kind of help with the cuticles. But I don't deal with dry cuticles too much. I feel like I moisturize enough to where I don't have too dry of cuticles. So yeah, those are my moisturizing. I do also want to mention that I do take biotin. I don't use biotin specifically for my nails. I'm sorry if you guys got freaked out by that. I just noticed that was open. I'm sure the cat did that while I was talking. I don't use biotin for my nails per se. I was told, I've mentioned in other videos, but I do get eyelash extensions, and so my lash technician mentioned that I should try and use biotin to help keep my lashes strong, so that way they're not constantly shedding and having to, you know, keep putting lashes, just to keep them kind of staying strong and not, you know, just completely shedding all the time. So she did recommend me getting on a biotin supplement. And this particular one I just get from Whole Foods, hair, skin, and nail support. The only thing I would recommend is she recommended me getting one with horsetail extract, which this one does have. I don't know too much about horsetail extract, so I don't know if that makes a huge difference, but she recommended me getting one with it, so I did. So yeah, I do take this. I don't take it as regularly as the directions say. This says I should take it once to 3 times a day. I don't do that. I was doing it initially and I found that it was a little too much for me. I found that it was causing my eyelashes to like, I felt like they were making my eyelashes shed very quickly, so I've pulled it back a little bit and now I'm only using them. These also help with the lashes, keeping them strong and also helping them grow back. So once they shed out, helping them grow back in real quick so that she can put another lash on them. So when I was taking them 3 times a day, I felt like it was too much. I felt like my eyelashes were shedding like crazy. So I've pulled it back a little bit and I now only use this when I think about it, which is probably like every other day, and I only take 1 a day. And so far I've found that that works pretty well. The only reason I mention it is because I'm sure it's probably helping my nail strength a little bit. So I thought I would mention that. But I feel like the Nailtiques I think is where a majority of the nail strength comes from. So, but yeah, that's all that I really use for the most part. I don't do anything. I know a lot of people have mentioned like my nails being white. And they're not crazy white, but I guess compared to like, you know, they're not terribly yellow considering I paint my nails every day. I don't really do anything per se to like make them white. If I have any type of staining, I will hit them with like a hydrogen peroxide mix. But I don't deal with staining too often. I don't know if it's just the combination of the products I use, but yeah, I don't do a whole lot when it comes to like whitening type things. I don't really care, to be honest. I mean, I wear nail polish every day, so if my nails are yellow, it's not a huge deal to me, but I don't do anything crazy to like keep them looking white. I think it's maybe just the higher quality like polishes and stuff that I use might be helpful for that. But yeah, so as far as filing and whatnot, I try not to file my nails, to be quite honest. I kind of hate filing my nails because I can never seem to get them straight, and then I sit there and file and file and file, and then next thing you know I have no nail left. So I kind of let them grow on their own as much as possible. If I do get a break, you know, I will file that to kind of, you know, remove the sharpness from it. But for the most part, I try to leave them alone and just let them grow on their own until either I have a break or if they're getting just way too long. Right now, they're at the point where when I'm typing on the computer, they're starting to get a little bit annoying. So I'm trying not to cut them short, but this is usually the point where I have to shorten them, so we'll see how long this lasts. They seem to grow pretty quickly. Memory card died, as per usual, because I film really long videos. Okay, so yeah, I try not to do anything to my nails too much, just because I feel like filing them always makes them a little bit brittle, so I try to not brittle, but it just makes them a little bit more susceptible to breakage, so I try not to file them. The only thing I have to deal with as far as like my nail shape, I've got 2 nails that grow pretty square, and then the other 2 grow kind of rounded, and then this middle nail just grows on its own. It grows at like this, they both kind of grow at like this weird kind of like squarish kind of, I don't know, they're kind of weird. So the middle finger I always have issues with. And so since these 2 grow square, I find that trying to make round nails square, or I guess I shouldn't say, I try to do squoval type nails because the square nails to me are always too sharp and I always end up breaking them. So since these 2 grow square, I usually make the rest of them square just because I find that it's easier to make a round nail square than it is to make a square nail round. I just feel like round nails, no matter how many times I try to do a round nail on these 2, it just never looks right. So I always seem to just do squoval type nails. I just think like it suits my nails better. The only thing I deal with my middle finger, besides the fact that it grows kind of at a weird angle, is that at some point, which it's starting to do now, and you're not gonna be able to see in this video, but it starts to bend. I don't know if you're gonna be able to tell because I can't do it, but once it gets to a certain length, like this one side starts to bend in a little bit. which kind of drives me insane because it means I can't grow it past this point because it just starts to like, I lose the shape of it. It just starts looking like this weird kind of like, I don't know if you can tell. I'm gonna flip you off. I don't know if that's gonna be able, if you're gonna be able to tell there, but it just starts to like do this bending in thing, and I can't seem, and I know other people suffer from it also. There's really nothing you can do to kind of like not make it do that, and so at some point I'm gonna end up having to like fix it because it drives me nuts because I see it and it just, all the other nails are square and then that nail's just doing this like jagged like weird thing, and it just messes the whole like uniformity of my nails, which drives me insane. So that kind of drives me nuts, but I try not, like I said, I try not to fuss about my nails too much. I just kind of let them do what they want. But I think that's it, guys. I hope this was helpful. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know what your kind of OG nail, like staple nail care thing. What do you have to use on your nails to keep them looking good? Or what kind of nail issues are you having that you haven't been able to, you know, what are you dealing with? Maybe we can all kind of get together and talk and think of some things, because I know it's really frustrating when your nails are not doing what you want them to do and you just want to paint your nails. Like I know like a year and a half ago when my nails were peeling, like all I wanted to do was paint my nails, and I could not because every time I painted them, all you could see was just like all of the peeling, and it just looked so gross and it would drive me insane. So I know how frustrating that is. So let me know what you're dealing with. Maybe we all can sit here and think of some ideas or give each other some recommendations. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope it was helpful, and I will talk to you guys next time. I don't know what that was. Bye.